Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is a place where you can always find something to read or watch that touches on the topics of philosophy, psychology, and spirituality. You can start by checking out our social media. There you will find daily posts covering a variety of different topics that aim to inspire you and make you think. Or if you prefer videos, then feel free to explore this channel or check out our podcast. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Many of us often feel like we're on autopilot, living lives that seem predetermined. We wake up each morning, follow a routine, interact with people who have become like family members, and then go to bed and do it all over again. Our days turn into weeks, months, and finally years. And we realize we've spent our entire lives following a path laid out before us. Sometimes it's a path we chose ourselves, and sometimes it's a path chosen for us by external factors such as our upbringing, societal expectations, or simply the absence of choices. Either way, we find ourselves looking back at our lives, wondering where did all the time go, what could have been different, and most importantly, why. This story explores the idea that sometimes life can surprise us with opportunities to rewrite our narratives, to step off the well-worn paths of routine and explore new horizons. So join us as we dive into this tale of self-discovery and the courage to embrace the unknown. The platform was nearly empty when David stepped onto it. He was tired, another late night at the office, another day lost to deadlines and blinking screens. The station clock read 11:57 p.m. He sighed, boarded the last train, and sank into a seat by the window. The doors closed with a hiss. The carriage rattled forward, and the world outside blurred into darkness. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Commuters sat slumped in their seats, faces pale beneath the dim lights. But as David glanced around, he noticed something strange. No one spoke, not even in whispers. The silence was absolute. Then he looked outside. The train passed stations he didn't recognize, names that weren't on his line, places he'd never heard of. Some platforms were overgrown with weeds, others covered in dust, and at one a single lantern swung, though no wind blew. David's chest tightened. He pressed the emergency button. Nothing happened. He tried speaking to the man across from him, but the man only stared blankly, as if listening to some sound David couldn't hear. The train didn't stop. It only carried on deeper into the unknown. Finally, after what felt like hours, the brakes screeched. The doors slid open onto a station bathed in golden light. The air smelled of earth after rain, familiar yet distant, like a memory. A voice came over the intercom, soft and almost kind. "Last stop. Please choose carefully." David hesitated. Beyond the platform stretched a path lined with trees, their leaves glowing as though lit from within. He felt a strange pull, like someone was waiting for him there. But behind him, the train doors stood open, ready to take him further, perhaps forever. His hands shook. If he stepped off, would he ever find his way back? And if he stayed on, where would the train take him? For the first time in years, David realized he had a choice. He thought of his life of nights spent in silence, of dreams abandoned, of words never spoken. Slowly, he rose from his seat, and with one deep breath, he stepped onto the platform. The doors closed, the train pulled away, vanishing into the dark. Ahead, the glowing path waited, quiet and endless. David walked forward, not knowing where it led, but certain, at last, that it was his own road to take. We often get so caught up in the rhythm of everyday life that we forget we have the power to change our direction. Like David, we may find ourselves on a path that seems predetermined, whether it's a career we dislike, a relationship that no longer serves us, or a location that feels more like a prison than a home. However, life has a way of presenting us with moments of clarity, times when we realize that we do have to keep walking the path that's been laid out for us. Instead, we can choose to step off, to pause and reflect on where we truly want to go. It takes courage to do this. A courage that stems from facing our fears and acknowledging the uncertainty of the unknown. But the reward for doing so can be immense. Stepping off the train symbolizes leaving behind the old, the routines, habits, and patterns that no longer serve us. It means letting go of the expectations and pressures we may have placed upon ourselves, or that others have imposed on us. It's about recognizing that we are not our past, our mistakes, or the limitations we've set for ourselves. As David begins to walk down the glowing path, he leaves behind the darkness of the tunnel and enters into the light of possibility. This path represents the unknown, the uncharted territory of life that lies ahead of us. It's a metaphor for the journey of self-discovery and personal growth that we can all embark on. The path is not without its challenges, as symbolized by the darkness that David initially finds himself in. But with each step he takes, he moves towards the light, embracing the uncertainty and becoming more fully himself. But what about the train? Why does it play such a significant role in this story? The train is a powerful symbol of our tendency to get stuck in the patterns of our lives. It represents the comfort and familiarity of routine, even if that routine is not serving us well. The darkness of the train cars symbolizes the mental state many of us find ourselves in, going through the motions of life without truly being present or engaged. It's a place where we can feel isolated, disconnected, and even trapped, much like the commuters who seem frozen in their seats. The darkness also symbolizes the emotional baggage we often carry within us. The unresolved issues, traumas, and negative beliefs that hold us back from living a life that is true to ourselves. As David steps off the train and onto the platform, he begins to break free from the darkness. He makes a conscious decision to change his path and confront the challenges that lie ahead. By doing so, he leaves behind the isolation, the numbness, and the emotional baggage that has been holding him down. The light that David walks into is a metaphor for the hope and possibility that await him. It represents the potential for growth, healing, and transformation that exists within each of us. As he continues on his journey, the light becomes brighter, symbolizing the increasing clarity, joy, and fulfillment that can come from living a life that is authentic and true to ourselves. In conclusion, this story encourages us to take a step back and examine the paths we are on in our own lives. It reminds us that we have the power to make changes, to step off the well-worn paths of routine and explore new possibilities. It takes courage to do this, but the rewards of self-discovery, personal growth, and living a life that is true to ourselves are immeasurable. So I ask you, where are you on your own journey? Are you on a path that brings you joy and fulfillment, or are you stuck in a rut that no longer serves you? The choice is yours. You have the power to change your path and move towards the light of hope and possibility. All it takes is a little courage and a willingness to embrace the unknown. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery and personal growth. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more content like this, please don't hesitate to check out our other stories. Until next time, remember to stay curious, keep exploring, and embrace the unknown. Your journey is yours alone, but you don't have to walk it alone.